Okay guys, just double, yep, you can hear me loud and clear, that's great. Just need to get my stream monitor up and then I'll be good to go. I also need to clear my throat and hydrate because I've literally just had food. But welcome back to Ace Attorney Monday. We are, hang on, let me, yeah, the audio should be good, although I may need to turn it down for me because it's a bit loud. But yeah, we're back with this Tiny Monday, and today I will be continuing with the third case, I think. Yeah, I think it's case number 3. But we're going to be continuing Turnabout Serenade in Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. And for anyone else in the UK, I just want to wish everyone else in the UK, oh, I keep repeating myself. My point is, it's bank holiday in the UK today, so anyone else that is taking a much needed day off from work, I know there are some unlucky people that are forced to work on bank holiday, but I think my mum, I mean, the only one I know of is my mum, but yeah, there are those unlucky people that do have to work on bank holiday. But either way, if you are, like me, enjoying a much needed day off from your daily routine, well, daily work routine anyway, then I hope you're having a great day. Everything's setting off, like my throat and my nose and my Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so we've talked with Gavin. We might need to present stuff. Well, actually, I can. So yeah, okay. I am so glad that Capcom decided to add a history button to the HD remastered collections that they're doing for Ace Attorney, because it really does come in handy for situations like this where you've not played the game for a week and so you might be a bit foggy about where you are. So we need to go back to the governor's dressing room. Eek! Who's there? There he goes again. Who is that guy? Huh, Trucy? You know, he did look sort of familiar. So he is a friend of yours? No, that's not it. Sorry, I don't remember. Curiouser and curiouser. For once on a Monday as well, a perk of it being bank holiday, you won't have to worry about Fred coming home and making lots of background noise. I mean, he's making background noise right now because he's cleaning up, because as I said, we literally just had food. But yeah, usually the streams on Monday can get a bit interrupted. Yeah, so you won't have to worry about that today, because with it being bank holiday, I think some shops, I think it depends on what the owner feels like doing, but I do think most shops are closed on bank holiday. At least that's how I remember it. I don't know whether it, I mean, I don't really go out on bank holiday. I say that and I go to wrestling shows on bank holiday, but I don't really go shopping on bank holiday, so it's been a minute since I've seen the kind of shopping climate on a bank holiday Monday. Yeah. Okay, the audio seems a bit quiet. I'm just gonna turn it up a touch. I don't wanna go too loud with it. Ah, Lamiroir. Hang on. It's already selected, that's fine. I'm just gonna mute my mic whilst I blow my nose, cause yeah, my nose is clearly a bit, not agitated, but just disturbed by the fact that I've had hot food. So yeah, I'll be unmuted in a minute. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that did the trick. I sound a little bit clearer now. What? No way, she can speak English. What has happened? I heard that Mr. Latouche has died. Lamiroir, you speak? I mean, you speak English? Ah, yes. I was invited here from the Republic of Borginia, but I am not Borginian by birth. But wasn't Mr. Latouche your interpreter? Sorry about that. Some like sediment from the food just it was struggling to go down my throat. Hi Ava, thank you for the follow. I hope you're doing well. Ah, that, yes, well, it was Mr. Latouche's idea. I'm doing good. He thought it would add to the mystery, you see. Then your pianist is also... No, Makitobaye is Borginian. He does not speak English. Now, please tell me, what has happened to Mr. Latouche? Why did he... Actually, Mr. Latouche was... Trucy. Huh? Remember what Prosecutor Gavin said? Not a word. My stream's going good. And streaming in general, I'm having a lot of fun with. A lot of fun with. Sorry, my throat's a bit scratchy. Just gonna... yeah, I do. So I have Saturdays off, but I stream every other day. So Monday to Friday, Sunday. And yeah, thank you. But Mr. Latouche is Lamiroir's manager. That's not fair to her. I mean, isn't she a related party? Precisely who Prosecutor Gavin doesn't want to alert, I suspect. All we have been told is to wait here in this room. It is very unsettling. I'm sorry, we're trying to figure it out. So I am a variety streamer when it comes to games. I don't just stick to one genre. I play RPGs, visual novel, open world games, horror games, choose your own adventure games. Like, I play a really good sorry, my throat is being really annoying right now. I'm trying to clear my throat, okay? I've been streaming for about a year. Yeah. Ooh, I just need to click on the game again. Do you think I could ask you some questions? Of course, I'm always willing to help. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really streaming to get famous though. I'm streaming because I love video games and I also love to meet people, so I figured what would be a good way of doing both of those things, and I figured streaming was a pretty good outlet for that. I mean, I do stream consistently. Yeah, there will be a few days where adult things like going out or work stuff or seeing my parents, I don't know, where stuff like that might get in the way, but I do have a good schedule. I mean, I'm not really sure how I can upgrade my Twitch profile. I already have a logo, a banner, panels. I have an intro. I do have an outro, although I do need to use that more. I mean, I do like my profile. I mean, yeah, I guess it could have a bit more pizzazz to it, but I'm not gonna, you know, I do have an artist who does really great work, so I'm not gonna, you know, jab at her work or anything. So, yeah. And that is where I'm gonna ban you because I don't want any soliciting. Okay, bye. By the way, because it clearly annoyed my fiance earlier. I don't mean to keep apologising. It's just I want to sound clear as I can for my stream. So the fact that whenever my voice doesn't, I think it's because I swear like there was either a really I don't know where I got this insecurity from. Like, I can't remember whether a bot was like, oh, your throat is scratchy, clear it out, or whether a human that was a douchebag came in and was like, oh, your voice is scratchy, clear your throat. And it's like, I think ever since that comment, I've kind of just got it in my head that, like, even now, I don't want to let it annoy me, but it's just like, this is why, I know I say this all the time, but I really do need to have food early. Because obviously having food right before I stream just isn't working. Like, it's happened so many times now, and yet for some reason I've just not got it through my apparently thick skull to have food earlier. Because, yeah. Because this always happens. If I have food before or during a stream, my throat always gets like this, and it freaking sucks because I'm trying to talk, you know, and not have food trying to go down my throat. Like, that's the only reason why I do apologise, because obviously it does get to me, because I do want to be, like, I see all these other streamers that, like, don't seem to have this issue, where it's like, their voice is, like, really clear all the time, and then there's me who comes on and, like, half the time I sound like a fucking croaky ass frog, and it's like, God fucking damn it. It really doesn't help that it's hot as balls in here, so I'm like, Anyway, I'll also mention that I do have a no self-promotion or no soliciting rule on my channel, and that will probably, unless you are a human and you are willing to, like, get the rule, like, I mean, to be fair, most solicitors, like, they're not there to watch your stream, they're just there to try and get your services anyway, so I have had it with a few people where, yeah, they will get that I don't want their services, but then they'll unfollow me, which is like, oh, well, thanks. So, yeah, I probably, just to get my throat back in optimum shape, I guess, I probably won't read, because, it's not even that my throat's sore or anything as well, that's, Like, how do other streamers do it, man? How do they not let shit like that get to them? Like, just having a croaky voice and not sounding... Like, I don't feel like I sound good right now. I'm just doing it out of habit now. Like my throat's starting to, you know, sound normal again, and now I'm just clearing it. Oh, I swear I don't want to be annoying, and yet according to my fiance, I'm fucking annoying right now. I can tell because, like, I don't know if you heard, but he kind of did, like, walk or, like, move to a different room. Ugh. Men. Anyway. Okay. Okay, let's talk to Lamiroir about the siren. Siren. It turns out that's a very important word in this case. How? When we found Mr. Latouche, he was still alive. What? I heard him say something. His last words. Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Ask the witness. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who's the witness? The witness is a siren. You said siren? Really? I was the only one there to hear it, but I'm sure that's what he said. Mr. Latouche said that? Ask the witness. And you're the siren, Lamiroir. Do you see what happened? Lamiroir, might I ask, are you with the police? Oh, well, no, I'm a defense attorney. An attorney? Yet there have been no arrests yet. Is that a problem? Does an attorney not work for a client? If you have no client, you should leave the investigation to the police, I think. But Lamiroir, I am sorry, but I cannot answer your questions. I'm afraid you lack the authority to ask them. Why? If she witnessed the crime, why won't she tell us? I believe we are through here. I believe so. So, do we have anything? Oh yeah, we have Lamiroir's brooch. That reminds me, does this brooch look familiar to you? My brooch, yes. Well, it may be mine. Yours, Lamiroir? I was wearing a brooch earlier, you see. I must have lost it. Well, that explains the brooch we found. It was Lamiroir's. Thank you. I was wondering where I dropped it. So this brooch belongs to her. That begs the question. Is something wrong, Apollo? What was this brooch doing at the crime scene? Okay, Lamiroir's postcard. Oh, okay, she doesn't have anything to say on that. I think, oh wait, hang on. No, I think we are all evidenced and talked out in this room. So let's move somewhere else. There we go. Whoa, who's there now? Ah, it's you. Where were you? Ack, Emma. Is something wrong? She looks grumpier than usual. You bet something's wrong. The impossible's happened. Ah, it's all your fault, you know. Oops, maybe this is about us leaving the crime scene. What do you mean by impossible? Well, it's gone. Utterly gone. What's gone? The body, stupid. What else? Eh? Mr. Latouse's body has disappeared. What? Ah, Prosecutor Gavin. From your vacant stare, I gather you've heard the news. I heard Mr. Latouse's body has gone missing. Look for yourself. Quite the pickle. Quite the pickle. How can you just stand there? We have to start the There's no need for alarm, Fraulein Detective. All entrances and exits have been sealed. The body will not leave the building. So I suggest we go find ourselves a cadaver. There will be plenty of time to ponder the whys later. Well, you seem pretty sure of yourself, Mr. Gavin. Oh, we'll find him. I'm rather enjoying this. How can Mr. Latouse's body just disappear? Well, you heard the man. Let's get searching. Hey, I don't know if this is exactly the right time, but... Yes, Dorian? See, Geeter's gone missing. It was in the dressing room. Geeter? Who's Geeter? That's what I call my guitar. You like, man? Your guitar was stolen? This hasn't been a good day for guitars or Geeters. Okay, body first, then guitar. And if someone finds that guitar, please bring it to our dressing room. Geeter's like a missing person, not lost and found, man. So, let's talk to Emma about the disappearing act. Well, this sure is a, what did he call it? A sausage? No, wait, it was a pickle. And it's your pickle. I told you to stay in the room. Sorry, not much else I can say. It's alright. Top priority now is finding that body. You can make it up to me later. 10 bags or so of chocolate snackers should do the trick nicely. You should watch your sugar intake, Emma. What are we doing here again? I don't think we have anything to look at in here, because we need to find the body. Although, to be fair, there might be a clue in the dressing room. So I'm just gonna examine just in case. There should be a body here, but there's not. How can this have happened, and why? Okay, so let's I'll just examine this side of the room. I don't think there's any... Yeah, it doesn't look like anything's changed in this room. Can we present anything to Emma? Okay, so let's move. And then let's okay. That guitar! That's a legendary AA400, the Red Badger. I thought rock was supposed to be rebellious, not civic. Every aspiring guitarist wants one of these. They even paint their own guitars to look like it. Ah, the fickleness of youth. You should dye your hair badger red too. I like my hair the way it is, thank you very much. Ah, the stubbornness of age. Ooh, a cruiser guitar. They sold those to commemorate 5 years of the band, rocking it hard under the speed limit. There's a cruiser bass and a cruiser drum set and a cruiser keyboard, even a cruiser whistle. I'm not so sure about that last one. It's for blowing the whistle on criminals. I don't think that requires an actual whistle, Trucy. Okay. Let's go to the stage. Does something seem different to you, Apollo? Something is definitely different here. Let's check it out. I don't think the scissor lift was down before. Yeah, the guitar case is also open. I'm not sure that's all that yeah, okay. But yeah, let's look at the scissor lift. That stage there must have been lowered before. That's the tower that Lamiroir and Prosecutor Gavin were singing on. Someone must have raised it. I don't see a way to control it from here. Apollo, what about that ladder there against the wall? We could use that to take a look up top. Maybe we should get Emma. What are you talking about? We have to see this sort of thing for ourselves. I'm not so good with heights. Stop whining and start climbing. Irk. It didn't look that high from below, really. But when we got to the top, I felt every one of those 15 feet down. Of course, I wasn't thinking about the height anymore. Not after what we found up there. Eek. We found 2 things we were looking for, and 1 thing we never expected to find. The body, guitar in hand, and the pianist, Maki Tobaye. So, yeah. I mean, looking at that image, you probably assume that even though he's blind, Maki maybe somehow triggered the scissor lift and then like collapsed for some reason on top of it. As for how Romain Latouse's body got there, who knows? Wow, that concert last night sure went south in a hurry. No kidding. Why did they arrest Maki? Why? Don't look at me like it's my fault. Maki Tobaye, the blind pianist, arrested on suspicion of murdering Romain Latouse. I can't believe such a cute little boy could do something so horrible. I guess they had proof of some kind. What proof could possibly prove that? Morning. Prosecutor Gavin? What a night, eh? I apologize for being so upset. Mr. Gavin, do you know what's going on? Why did they arrest Maki? Why? Don't look at him like it's his fault either. It was tough for me too. We performed together that night after all. Yet? The powers that be say that given the circumstances, it could only have been him. What do you mean by the circumstances? Lamiroir was invited from Virginia as an ambassador of goodwill. It is vital that this case be wrapped up swiftly. That's all the powers that be want, really. Well, those are circumstances, alright. But what makes Maki the only possible suspect? Her forehead? You seem to have forgotten that you're talking to the prosecution, the enemy. Ah, right. I think I like the side of Prosecutor Gavin better, actually. I'm not at liberty to discuss the particulars of the case, especially not to the defense attorney. What? What did you just say? Me, the defense attorney? That's what I came to tell you. He's down at the detention center. He wants to request your services. He? You mean Maki? Maki wants me. This is what we've been waiting for, Apollo. Let's get going. Oh, right. Good luck. I'm off to question Lamiroir. Right, later. I hope I'm up to this. Well, I just don't get it. I refuse to believe a cute little kid like that could do something so terrible. You said that already.
Joe's coming on shortcut, so I'm just gonna busy him outside.
Okay. Maki, everything's going to be okay. We're here for you. Hi. Maybe you can tell me about last night. Huh? Pictures. That was when I realized how tough it must be. A little kid like this, in a country so far from everything he's ever known. Maybe Lamiroir can help? Didn't Prosecutor Gavin say she was with him? Good luck. I'm off to question Lamiroir. Well, what are we going to do? That's, a good question. I can't think of anything we can do but go with this. And hope for the best at the trial tomorrow. It's trial time! Yay! Okay. So, we're gonna save, and yep, it's time to enter the courtroom. Court is now in session for, how do I say that? Maki Tobaye, Your Honor. The Pixie of the Arpeggio. Right, his trial. Court is in session. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is A-okay, her judge. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. Ah, my opening statement, yeah. No, actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about. Yes? Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them? Eh? I mean, you wouldn't say get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down. What are you talking about? Ahem, actually I'm going to visit someone who is terminally ill. Right after this trial. The Chief Justice's son. The Chief Justice? His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. Ah. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be the order of the day. Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending? She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for? In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement briefly. You're in luck, her judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. First, to review the victim in this case, Romain Latouche, age 35. He does not look 35, he looks like 40, maybe even older than that. The global manager for diva songstress Lamiroir. The cause of death, blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details. The court accepts this into evidence. So, we have Latouche's autopsy report, death due to loss of blood from a gunshot wound, estimated time of death between 9 and 9:30 p.m. 45 caliber, that's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that can knock a man off his feet. However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight, death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved. I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse considering. Crime photo added to the court record. 2 shots were fired. 1 shot missed, the other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observe the diagram. This is where the bullets hit. I see. The court accepts this evidence. Wow, we're getting a bunch of evidence to start this trial. If we're talking about a 45 caliber revolver, we must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use. Really? Yeah, apparently weapons that size of a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body. The defense will take more care in choosing examples. As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. This dressing room has only one entrance, this door. That does seem to be the case, yes. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course. But that's impossible. Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person. One person? That is, of course, the defendant, Maki Tobaye. Only this defendant could have committed the crime. But how? It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime scene make it clear. Very well, I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Please show the witness to the stand. Ooh, our first witness is Emma. Your name and profession, please. Emma Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow. Security at the concert, you say? Some security I was couldn't even stop a murder. Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know. I'm sure that makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered, and we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please. All right. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene. But that door was the only way out of the room, right? Yeah, pretty much. Then I don't get it. How can they say that Maki did it? Looks like we need a bit more information. Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination. So, first cross-examination of this new trial. So let's press to get more information. The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes. That's right. What was the detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Conspiracy? Well, isn't it obvious? My keys, that whole morning. No, the whole day was ruined. And it's all because someone stole my keys. I couldn't ride my hog to the show. I couldn't open my guitar case. There he goes again. Isn't it possible he simply misplaced them? Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't just wander into a murder victim's hand on their own. What's this? Prosecutor Gavin. If your keys were in the victim's hand, that makes you a prime suspect. Love, slow acting and new, Atraquinine is waiting for you. He's singing something. Does everything with this guy have to be so OTT? The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was like a sailor adrift on a sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen, so I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task. I see, I can accept that. Well, I can. What do you mean time on their hands? Please, the testimony. So let's get more info again. You were let in though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. I gave the Fraulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Gee, great. Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. So no other outsiders were there then. And then... Press. I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos. Ah, hey, no snacking in court. And you're sure the shots came from Lamiroir's room? Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep you quiet. Katonk. Ah, thanks. So, how about it, Emma? You were right there. Hard to be mistaken about that. Please, either talk or eat, not both at the same time. Right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. Press. Rock? Blaring, yes. When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days? That's right, when we went into the dressing room. Music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. They piped sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers. That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the governors with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume. When we walked in the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime. If you could hear that music playing, then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi, including myself. Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation. Press. How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen. We know there was only one exit from the room, that door. The small window only opened a tiny crack, and I was standing in front of that door. So how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility. The air vent. Ah. But that air vent was too small. Who could possibly... Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through, nor me. The only one who could fit through was a child. A child. Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed. And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child. The defendant? The pixie of the arpeggio flitted up toward the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime. But that's just conjecture. Oh, there was no other way out of that room? You were there. You should know her forehead. And there is another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that it had recently been opened. Wait, what? And something else was found quite clearly. The defendant Makitobe's fingerprints. Well, what? Order, order, order. That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, her forehead? What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one can pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. And that one is our pixie. Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up in the audience. So this was his decisive evidence. Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. Ugh. I believe we've heard enough to determine our verdict. Even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit, I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. It can't be over already. Very well, I believe this trial is finished. If the defense has no contradicting evidence, the prosecution has presented our proof clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it had better be clear and plain. Apollo, they've got us on the ropes already. We better come up with something quick. I know. Think, what can get us out of this? We need evidence or a witness that can prove Maki is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that... Mr. Justice, do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you better tell us about it now. This is it, and so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof. So, I'm gonna sneeze, I think. But yeah, let's call a witness, and yeah. Prosecutor Gavin, you claim that there were no witnesses to the crime. Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely. I swear it on my career as a prosecutor, and on my million-seller hit song, Atronine My Love. There he goes again. That's too bad, because there was a witness. Ho, really now? But how did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution clearly does not? Because I am the only one in the world who knows this. What's going on? I just talked to him and now... He's alive. Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Cold. So cold. Witness. You're cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help is on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who's the witness? The witness is the siren. What? The victim said this before he died? Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is what her forehead said he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself. But it's the truth. He said it. I even told you about it. But apparently you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job. That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution, I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty. Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for? There's no backing out now. Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice. Lamiroir, come on down. Lamiroir? Recall Mr. Latous's last words. The witness is a siren. The siren. Aha, he meant the siren. That's right, the siren of the ballad, Lamiroir. Lamiroir was only on stage for the second set, and she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness. I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, my claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime. Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show Lamiroir to the witness stand. Lamiroir would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is. It is my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad to our courtroom. You are too kind. You can speak English? Yes, I can. Though I am not very good. There is much I do not know. You speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it. Hydration time again. What does she mean she doesn't know? I too thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. What's that? Lamiroir suffers from amnesia. Amnesia? Lamiroir is not my true name, yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought. As lauded singer Lamiroir, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Yet I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lamiroir. Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened. Lamiroir, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify, yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Oh my. Congratulations, Apollo, you're the bad guy. Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime. Okay, Lamiroir's first testimony. As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying. I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying. There you have it, she saw nothing that night. Now we can only pray the defense has the sense to admit defeat, and refrain from detaining her here longer than need be. Wow, you just got better, Apollo. Way to go. Grrr. Very well, Mr. Justice, keep it short and sweet. Lamiroir wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I've got to find out what. Press. But you must have seen something. Mr. Latouche named you. Mr. Latouche? How can I tell you what I don't know? Lamiroir, he said you were a witness with his dying words. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night... Press. It was a great concert. You heard me sing? Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Of course. Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. One on my gavel would be nice. Her judge. Well, what's this? It's my autograph. Now keep this trial moving. Well, what? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy. Apparently his grandson is a big fan. Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lamiroir. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance. Press. You did not return backstage once. Where were you then? What were you doing? I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. And was Maki with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he was. So much for an alibi for Maki. Press. With Maki, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does, though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latouche's death. Yet, he is not the type to show much emotion. Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence, and those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gone very far. He sat there waiting. Press. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Latouche died. Of course, investigations require some security, but Mr. Latouche was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Maki and I were beside ourselves with concern. Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you. Yes, I understand. Think, what doesn't ring true about her testimony? It's hard to imagine Lamiroir lying. She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. Why wouldn't she tell me the night of the murder? What have we got in the court record? We've got the lyric sheet, we've got the investigation request, we've got the postcard, revolver, brooch, mixing board, keyring. Ah, okay, so... maybe it's this statement and the brooch. Yay, I got it right. It was just a gut feeling I had. I'm sorry, Lamiroir, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not? Why, that's Lamiroir. She was wearing it for her song. Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin? Well, what? This brooch was found after the murder took place, at the very scene of the crime. What? I'm gonna need to refill my drink at this rate. I literally had a full bottle that I refilled right before the stream started, and I've already almost gone through it all. Lamiroir, how did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And as Prosecutor Gavin has just told us, you have been wearing it during your performance that night. What is the meaning of this? Lamiroir, please explain. Lamiroir? She's switching to Marginian again. She says, English is quite difficult. That trick's not going to work here. Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer truly. But you have missed one important fact. What now? In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment. What? Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak. Is she really saying all that? What's she talking about, Apollo? Right when the incident occurred. Ah, is she talking about that? Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup. Right, understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in, right? Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Cold, so cold. Witness, you're cold? Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Help is on the way. The witness is Siren. Siren? How can a siren witness anything? Yipes, Emma, what was that? Who's there? What's wrong? Emma, did you see anyone just now? Huh? No. I could have sworn I heard a door close. I looked into the room, just a glance, mind you. So this was when your brooch dropped? That explains that. It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it. But that's ridiculous. You only looked in for an instant, but you dropped your brooch. Her forehead. She has raised a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence. So she looked in at the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I think I'm gonna sneeze again. I was gonna sneeze earlier and then it went away. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course, but the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice. Her forehead shouting, "Who's there?" no doubt. A horrible voice indeed. Ugh. I closed the door immediately. Well, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony. That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lamiroir, you did look into the room though, right? Yes. Testify as to what you saw. Very well, though it was only the briefest of glimpses. Okay. Press. What did you see in that brief glimpse? I had only opened the door slightly when I heard that horrible voice, and shut the door. I have always wondered her forehead. Does that voice of yours lack a volume knob? It's my cores of steel, man. Just back off. I saw nothing. The late Mr. Latouche's body was behind a wall. Wait, was it? Hang on, let me... Where's the diagram? No, it wasn't. I mean, it kind of was, but like, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... I don't think we need to perceive anything. I'm gonna present the... Oh no, come on. It's interesting that the bracelet icon is available to be used, but I don't see Lamiroir doing any tells or anything. Yeah, like there's no obvious tells. let's try the crime photo. No, never mind. Let's just press this statement. Because a wall? Was there a wall there? Is what in English? A division or a partition, I believe. It was a large dressing room divided into two halves, and the murder took place in the inside half. I guess that partition might have hidden the body. Okay, I'm gonna check this one, I think. What? But she's not. She's not. I mean, yeah, she's standing differently, but how is that a tell? What? Okay. Turns out Lamiroir does have a tell, but it's being hidden really well, apparently. Really? That was her tell? Holy moly. Yeah, I know what her tell is. Yeah, see that? She's gulping. Gotcha. The late Mr. Latouse's body, you say? Yes. You know something more about Mr. Latouse's death than you are saying. What? I can see you trying not to remember, but the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes. It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Latouse have to be shot? One moment, Lamiroir. Yes? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Latouse have to be shot? Yes? She was hiding something, I knew it. Lamiroir, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but your words just now contradict your testimony. Eh? How can that be? Take this. Lamiroir contradicted her own testimony, and I have the evidence to prove it. Is it the revolver? I'm really lost with this one. I'm just like, oh yeah, oh my god. My brain is not working today. Of course it's the investigation request. She shouldn't know any of this, but she does somehow. Tell me, Lamiroir, how did you know he had been shot? Eh? Well, immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is a document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, no one told me anything about the incident. Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Latouse had been shot. How could you have known? Yark! Lamiroir, you aren't hiding something from this court, I hope. That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet. Now I remember. Please, allow me to add to my testimony. Of course, all we want to know is the truth. She looks kind of pale, huh? She saw something, I know it. Even the victim said so. I saw bullet holes in the wall and knew Mr. Latouse had been shot. Yeah, okay, so there's a new statement And yeah, so let's press. Only a glimpse, yet you knew they were bullet holes. Yes, I recognized them immediately. I've seen bullet holes before, you know. You have traveled the world as a singer. You must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country. I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days. That's really cool. I hope I get to travel like Lamiroir someday. I plan on recording my next album overseas. Their studios have a different sound, you know. Maybe I should go on a course of steel tour too. So, yeah, so there's definitely evidence contradicting this statement. So, oh wait, hang on. I think I figured it out. Yeah, there we go. So, in the diagram, it actually shows how the door opens, but the bullet holes are actually situated behind the door. So, Lamiroir shouldn't have been able to see them. Lamiroir, they call you the siren of the ballad, but lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. A put-down worthy of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice. Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, yeah? Come on, can I be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lamiroir, you looked in from the door for just a moment, correct? Yes, that is so. There were bullet holes in the room, yes, but they were in the wall the door is on. Eh? You see, assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. Yark! Lamiroir, yes, I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something. And I must tell you what it is that I saw. Yes, the happenings in this trial are being recorded, and I'm certain it will be on the news in Virginia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing. But she knew how Mr. Latius died, and he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lamiroir. Very well, Lamiroir, please continue your testimony. Very well, I shall. Okay, a new testimony. What I saw, part 2. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Maki. It was a grown person. I know it was. So you did witness the crime, and the killer was a grown person, you say? Ack, this is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, her forehead. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination. Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lamiroir. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. Huh? Okay, press. So you were heading toward the dressing room? Yes. So this is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. About the same time Emma and I heard those shots. I was on my way back. Press. What exactly is something like a little window? Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said, yes. You need not worry, Lamiroir. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail. That little window on the wall. I saw the crime from there. So... yeah, so there is nothing that suggests that that window was blocked or anything? Press. You are certain you heard 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot much closer, and there were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradictions so far. It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. Okay, press. It wasn't Maki who shot, are you sure? Yes, quite certain. Ahahaha. It amuses me that you would question your testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object? Yeah, Apollo, what were you thinking? Trucy, let's just listen to what Lamiroir has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure? Yes, of course, you see. Press. A grown person. That's a little vague. I'm sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know. Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man, a young man. And you're sure of that? Yes, his voice was quite clear. Voice? Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man. So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Latouche? Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Latouche who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man. Apollo, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Maki. Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony? Okay. It's contradictory. Okay. Though it pains me to say this, there's something about Lamiroir's testimony that rings false. Heh, bravo, her forehead. You're colder than I thought. I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As has been established, no grown man can pass through that air vent. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. But that means Lamiroir has to be lying. I know, and I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Believe me, the idea was tempting. It is as her forehead says. Yet this is not the only contradiction within her testimony. Well, what next? What's he talking about? Lamiroir, I understand why you would want to protect Maki. Yet remember, you are the siren of the ballad, and lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean? Apollo, what's he talking about? How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. The state of the room? Yes, and when the murder took place, that window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it. What? But I'm sure. Lamiroir, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense, but my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser. But she's the only eyewitness we have. So you say, and the victim named her the siren as the witness? That's right, that's what Mr. Latouche. We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility, and it brought us to this. Her judge? Yes. The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility. But if Lamiroir can't testify, then we don't have a chance of proving Maki's innocence. This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin, you may continue making your case. Danke. Now, where were we? Ah yes, I would like to hear from Fraulein Detective again. Wait, let me hear Lamiroir's testimony one last time. But the cross-examination is already over. Until such time as the need arises, this witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry I could not be of more assistance. At last, back to the real trial. Ready, her forehead? Grr, I hope I didn't just miss my only chance. Fraulein Detective, how far had we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted? Don't ask me. I dislike saying the same thing twice, and I never repeat a song for an encore. If you would, Miss Skye. Humph. I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Latuse's killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling. Ah yes, there was only one door in the room, and a witness, you, was standing in front of it. That air vent isn't very big, see? Kinda limits the people who could possibly get through. I certainly would have a difficult time. You sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert. The only one who meets the conditions for our killer is the defendant. A virtuoso performance, I couldn't have put it better myself. She does state a clear case. Though reading the report, something caught my eye. Oh, what's that? The circumstances of the defendant's arrest. The circumstances, again? Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found Maki? That was bizarre. She's right. Why did Mr. Latuse's body disappear from the room and end up on top of that stage tower, holding a guitar no less? A perceptive observation, her judge. Ah, thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough, you get a nose for things. Heh. The judge sure seems pleased with himself. Very good, Fraulein Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer? New testimony from Emma, the missing body. I'm gonna let my voice recover for a bit, so I'm not gonna read. Cause yeah. Because I can only read so many words at once. I'm not, as much as I'd probably like to be, I'm not superhuman. Okay, let's do the cross-examination. So we're gonna press. Press. The diva. I mean, Emma's not wrong. Gavin is a bit of a diva. Okay, I think I know what to do. I hope I'm not jumping the gun by doing this, but I'm gonna present the crime photo. Oh, god damn it, I am jumping the gun. God damn it. Okay, well, I think I know what to do now, but I'm just gonna check. I'm pretty sure we raised an objection. Yeah, we do. Apollo. Okay, let's press. You're seriously telling me a blind man somehow found a stepladder, knew to climb up it, and then, like, felt his way to a vent? Seems a bit far-fetched. We should have evidence, right? Uh... But yeah, so we're gonna present the crime photo. Is it the writing? Yeah, I think it's the bloody message. I think it's where it comes in. Yep. No one has anything else to say? About what? So, the prosecution accepts this? But yeah, I think I can start reading again now. You agree that this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer, and that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latouche was writing something in blood once the killer saw what it was. Wait, once he saw what it was? But why did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ack! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant, Maki Tobaye, is blind? He couldn't have seen the shooter. Impossible! Order. Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet, up until now, it seems I owe the court an apology. The Gaviniers are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during our concert. Apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Hey Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling? Like he knows something we don't and he's about to tell us? Hehehe, I've got an idea. Let's rock with these documents. But before that, I have a question for the Fraulein detective, if I may. What? Tell me, why do you think that Maki Tobaye is blind? Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind. Of course. He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lamiroir lead him around by the hand all the time? No way. I have a report here on the defendant, Maki Tobaye. According to this, Maki Tobaye can see perfectly well. What? His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. He can see quite well. But you said... What did I say exactly? Her forehead. Not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did was Fraulein Detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider Maki Tobaye sees, and he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this. But what about the bullet holes in the wall? Yes, the bullet holes. I believe her forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. Ack, how's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, her forehead. Yar! I knew you didn't have what it took. You jerk. Just what was I here for? Comic relief? Yeah, apologize. Hahaha. Oh, sorry. There's no way to apologize. He's angered the Trucy now. Look out. Ahem. If we can please end the bickering now. Whatever. I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me. But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Oh, don't say that. Aha! Aha what? This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes. We might be able to find out what was really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right, with this. It's called luminol. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood. Ah yes, have we done these tests yet? Ha, as if I'm going to tell you. The blood stains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now. Right, go for it, Apollo. Huh, I have to do the test. You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. Chemical reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. How about it? Right, ready? It's easy as pie. Just press A to spray an area. Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire court are focused on me. Apollo, your hand's shaking. Oh, hurrah, let's do this. Huh. What is that? Wow, it really works. This must be the power of science. It says IPXX3 14206. Is that the killer's name? Maybe it is, if the killer was a robot. Aha, I have it. So what is it? I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number. Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency? Yes, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. But why would he write that number? Why would Mr. Latouche even know a number like that? Good show, Fraulein Detective. Rock on. Eh? Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Darian, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. Darian, you heard what we need. Hi, Sharpshooter. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Go check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27. I'm not sure what to think of all this. The prosecution's case is airtight, or so it seems. Ah, my favorite case, and I missed most of it. No! That sucks. Yeah, I really like this case as well. Yet, if this number is really that of an Interpol agent... Oh wait, I know. What if Maki Tobaye is really an undercover Interpol agent? That would be a possibility. A possibility, yes. And one that will mark him as a killer for certain. Why did Latouche know an Interpol ID number? That's what I want to know. Well, we have some time while we await Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Maki Tobaye. What are you talking about? Fraulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could in fact see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you. Yeah, Clavier. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether Clavier is my favorite prosecutor in the Apollo Justice games. I think Simon Blackquill or maybe even Nayuta might be my favorite. But Clavier is a very fun character. You had me until that last bit. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what I think. He's scary, but he is very cool, and he's kind of got this like daredevil, like person that you can't take your eyes off, kind of. Yeah. Especially with Taka. Oh yeah, the bed. Yeah, the bed animations are so funny. Like when it flies off and then it gets in the judge or Apollo or Athena or yeah, when it scares everyone. Basically, it's really funny. Well, sure. Why did Maki pretend he couldn't see? Exactly. It makes little sense. What do you think? Her forehead. Huh? Me? Maki Tobaye pretended he was blind. Do you know why? How could he know? Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he? He's known from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time. Clavier? Something wrong? Do you think perhaps this is all some kind of game? Know that the moment I heard the report, I knew why. I'm just gonna save, just to be safe. There we go. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully your shopping goes well. But yeah, thank you for the like. Yeah, that's totally fine. Oh, yeah, you gotta love it when you go to a store and they've got a great sale on or great deals. It's always the best feeling. Oh, even better. You don't. I mean, I'm guessing you'll be walking there, right? You won't be driving. Because, I mean, a 5 minute drive is kind of a waste of fuel. Oh, you will be driving. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit. I do kind of take into account driving more when it's a short distance. Like if I feel like I can walk, I will. But if it's like raining, then of course I'm gonna drive to somewhere, even if it's like 5 minutes away. What does that have to do with anything? There was a reason why Maki Tobaye pretended to be blind, but it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now? It wasn't for himself? Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant has feigned blindness? I'm just gonna check the court record. So, yeah, there isn't anything in the song. Lamiroir's postcard, sightseeing music. Don't think there's anything there. The revolver, brooch, mixing board, key ring, Latouse's autopsy report, crime photo. Uh, hmm. I have saved, so I can like take a punt. I'm gonna present Lamiroir because I think. Oh wait, I have to do show evidence first. I'm gonna show evidence. Maki had no reason to pretend he couldn't see, which means no, it couldn't be. Good show for her forehead. It seems you've thought of something. Grr, why can't I figure these things out on my own? I hate having to take my cues from this guy. Very well, look at this. This is why he was pretending he couldn't see. Oh wait, it is evidence? Okay. I'm gonna go the postcard. Yes, I was right. Okay. Yeah, that's the only evidence I can think of that really shows Lamiroir, so it seemed like the best. For you see, she can't see. I remember Lamiroir and Maki Tobaye recall their relationship. In particular, their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lamiroir and her pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind. She led him at all times, never letting him go. Yep. I mean, I can... Yeah, I remember playing this case the first time and I was like, that is actually a really cool twist that they chose to make the singer blind and also have it be a somewhat major part of a case. All times. Yet we have just learned something that makes the arrangement peculiar indeed. Mackie could see. Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't it part of their performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Mackie did not need to be led by the hand at all, but Lamiroir did need to be led by the hand. Yep, really, it was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lamiroir. Well, what's this? So, you mean to say that Lamiroir is? She's... Yes, Your Honor. Turnabout site. Yeah, this case shouldn't have been called Turnabout Serenade. It should have been called Turnabout Sight. Or Turnabout Blindness, or something like that. What? Order. This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin. Is it now? Please shed some sanity on this madness. Yeah, it does revolve around music as well. But still, I mean, Turnabout Sight or Turnabout Blindness would be a good alternate name for it. Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim. The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead. Yet, I see it is not vast in vain this time. He is quite correct. But that makes no sense. Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something? Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lamiroir herself? I believe she is still in the witness waiting room. Yeah. I mean... Yeah, Apollo's forehead isn't that big. Apollo, what does this mean for our case? Don't ask me. I had no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now. Bailiff, bring in Lamiroir. Lamiroir, it pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way, and yet I must. Please do not be concerned on my behalf. Yeah, she is a really pretty character. And obviously I'm playing the HD trilogy, so they made her look even prettier, I think, with the slightly updated HD graphics. Yeah, I mean, I guess Capcom knew that they needed to have, if they were gonna have like someone with a foreign nationality, they needed to make her beautiful. And especially because she's meant to be this singer that like disarms everyone with how talented she is, so she needs to look the part. It is true. How funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Borginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world. So you are? Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lamiroir. Know too that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lamiroir. I see. You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, her forehead. Stop calling him forehead! What's that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Ah. Now, Lamiroir, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Though I admit I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. I mean, Apollo's hairstyle does kind of bring out his forehead because like his hair's all stuck up. So, of course, under the hair, all you get is like this massive square of forehead. So I do think it's kind of size, but it's also the fact that it's all Clavier can really look at and poke fun at, I guess. Okay, I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before I knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. But this is a murder trial. I apologize, it was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would. She told us the truth in the beginning, when she said she saw nothing. Very well, does the defense have anything to add? I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay, there was only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Okay. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. Postcard, PR line, sightseeing music, brooch, mixing board, keyring, lettuce, key, diagram. Okay, so I'm gonna get more information. So, you don't know why you went blind? I do not. I may have been born this way, in fact. It's fruitless to attempt to pry into her past, and I might add it's a delicate subject. I'm not sure we can reasonably expect Mr. Justice to do anything delicately. Hey, why I oughta take a deep breath and calm down. What I am now is all that I have. It is enough, I think. Press. Weren't you nervous to hit the stage in your condition? No, not at all surprisingly. It felt natural singing in front of everyone. It's not something just anyone can do. She has talent, that much is quite clear. You might even say she is beloved by the gods of music. Even without light, I live perfectly happy in my world of sound. If that is a talent, as you say, then I thank the gods responsible. What about your PR motto? Press. Perhaps your music reminded him of the Borginian scenery? Ahaha, no, it was quite the opposite. The opposite? According to my producer, my music has a certain global quality. Global? Multicultural, if you will. Hard to paint to one region. When people listen to it, they picture the country closest to their hearts, which is why my music has reached so many. What a lovely story. Sounds like this producer might have known what he was doing after all. My songs are nothing more than a white canvas. To me, the real landscape painters are the listeners. When I think of that, I do not mind how I am represented to the world so much. Yet one thing quickly led to another. Press. Was that to protect your image as a landscape painter and sound? That does not matter so much to me really, but the label is quite concerned about it, I think. A landscape painter who can't see, that's like a pianist who can't play, huh? I'm not sure you can compare your father to Lamiroir. The world of commercial music is filled with these little white lies. Nothing is sacred when it comes to publicity. Press. When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche? Of course, he was my manager, so he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You are thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. He's alive. Mr. Latouche, can you hear? Yeah, he said the siren. He said the siren saw what happened, but if he knew she was blind, she wouldn't say that. So I wonder if Latouche didn't actually know. Cold, so cold. Witness. You're cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help is on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who's the witness? The witness is a siren. Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. Tusk. What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more. The witness siren? We heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. Okay. So, I'm just gonna save. Just to be safe. There we go. I mean, what he said before that. Before? What came up before that? That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad the defense did not. Well, her forehead. Try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time. Irk. Order. Recall Lamiroir's earlier testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. Yeah, you tell him, Sharp. If anyone needs to be quiet right now, it's Clavier. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as a witness? Ah, but I really did hear them. 2 gunshots and the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. We have already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Your Honor. What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation? Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Crescend, your report, please. Oh, here we go. Here's where it all starts to unravel. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Darian. Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IP XX314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So, when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity, and a cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent, so him being Lamiroir's manager was just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that .45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belonged to Romain Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver. So, the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op. I wonder how that ties into everything. He's got to tie in somehow, you'd think. Yeah, somehow. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Hold it! Oh, come on, Lamiroir. Wait. Well, Lamiroir, is something the matter? That voice just now. Darian? Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I am sure of it. It was him. You aren't saying. That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian. Is this some kind of a joke? What? Yeah, literally. Yeah, it turns out Darian is a suspect as well. No way. The courtroom fell into such chaotic state the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day you get an accusation like that one. Lamiroir, fingering Darian Crescent. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lamiroir heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it. Hey, no wimping out now, Apollo. Yet, we'll have to prove how Darian is involved with the crime. But we're gonna take a break from the trial, and now we're gonna go back to investigating. Hey, Apollo. What? Well, you know, actually nothing. I mean, something. Or maybe not. Out with it. The suspense is giving me an ulcer. Well, you know, the trial today, I was thinking, if you gave it a score, what score would you give it? Score? Gee. I guess I would, or maybe, well, bah, I'm just as bad as you. See? It's so vague. Clearly. Maki avoided a guilty verdict, which is something, though I can't say I'm any less confused about the case. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. IP XX314206. The agent registered under the number was Romain Latouche. And the victim, Mr. Latouche. Who would have guessed he was actually an undercover Interpol agent? What a mess. And we don't have any idea what he was investigating. Well, true, but we know who shot him now. Lamiroir told the whole court. Wait, that voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it. That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian. It's another mystery, Apollo. I love mysteries. I don't. Speaking of mysteries, what's Mr. Wright up to? I wouldn't mind asking his opinion. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen Daddy around. What, is he some kind of stray that just wanders in and out at will? I wouldn't say that, but he has been going out a lot. Some top secret mission, he said. Top secret. Anyway, you can't just rely on him to save the day. And you've got me to help you. We'll be fine. Fine, right. Well, time's a wasting, as they say. Let's investigate. That's the spirit. Okay, Darian did it. Lamiroir dropped a bomb in court today. It was Darian. Lamiroir said she's never forgotten a voice, right? That's so cool. I guess. What's that called again? Elephant ears? I bet that's what they're called. Somehow I don't think that means what you think it means. And she has to be wrong this time. Wrong? Why? I mean, look. Those gunshots from right during the concert. That's right, I was burning up the dance floor at the time. Right, did you happen to look up on stage? Maybe at Darian even. You bet I did. He is one of the governor's guitarists after all. He's so cool. Oh, right. Well, the governors have a rock-solid alibi. He couldn't have shot Mr. Latouche backstage. But Lamiroir heard him, didn't she? She heard Darian backstage, right? Somebody's either wrong or lying very badly here. Yeah, that's a good point. So Darian does have an alibi, but somehow Lamiroir heard him. So either Lamiroir's wrong, or somehow Darian wasn't on stage. An Interpol agent? I was wondering, what is Interpol anyway? Huh? Interpol? They're the guys who catch international criminals. Why can't they just call them international police instead of making up some silly name? Yeah, anyway, you think he was investigating Lamiroir? What? Why would anyone do that? She's not a criminal. She couldn't be. Don't be fooled by appearances is all I'm saying. But remember, I'm a magician, Apollo. I can spot a palm coin at 50 paces. If only it were that easy. In any case, we know he was working on something. I wonder if it was something that has something to do with something. That something being our case. The last something, I mean. Something like that. Frankly, the whole thing is making my head hurt. What was Mr. Latouche up to? Ah ha 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 ha! Trucy, was that another one of your tricks? It wasn't me. I can't even make Mr. Hat laugh like that. Oh! Wherever the mundane gives way to miracles, a word is risky. I can't talk. A word is whispered. Grammar, yay! Hey, the other day. Yep, he was there backstage. Who's there? Itchy nose. We didn't just imagine that, did we? He was wearing a silk hat, friend of yours. Hardly. We meet again. Nice to meet you. Who are you? And could you please stop smirking like that? It's you, Uncle Valan. Uncle Valan, he's your uncle? No, silly. It's the great Grammarier, Valan Grammarier, the Grand Magician. Yes, in his eye, the great Valan Grammarier, as seen on television. And could you please stop smirking like that? It's been a while, Miss Trucy. 7 years to be exact. My, how you've grown. Good to see you again, Uncle Valan. You look exactly the same. I hate to intrude, but what is a great magician doing paying us a visit? I believe it was you who wished to see me. So be quick with your questions. And do not quail, quake, or quiver. I am quite tame. Though my stardom may steer the sight, I'm quite down to earth when need calls. He does have a certain aura to him, it's true. Let's ask him about the case, Apollo. His aura sure isn't lost on our magician in the making. She's practically drooling with enthusiasm. After all, Uncle Valant's one of Daddy's best friends. That's why I call him Uncle. Well, what? Daddy? You mean Mr. Right? No, I mean my real daddy. Trucy's real father? Oh, okay. Let's ask about Troop Grammar Year. Wait, Apollo? Don't tell me you don't know about Troop Grammar Year. Troop Grammary. I've been saying that wrong for so many years. Oh my god. Well, now I know. Troop Grammary. No. But it does sound kind of familiar. Oh, lost life. Lamentably listless lad. To not know of the greatest troop of magicians on the planet. Valant Grammary. The name began to surface in my mind. It was a name I'd heard on television as a child. You bet you've heard the name. He made a cruise ship disappear and blew up an amusement park. Oh, and he made all his gold disappear from a safe, and then escaped from a high-security prison. You said he is a magician? I opened the locks to hearts chained by mediocrity. This is the true miracle of true Grammary. Wait. What, Apollo? I do remember seeing you on TV a long time ago. Weren't you with someone else, like a duo? A duo? Yeah, you had a partner. Something Grammary. Yes, Zach Grammary. A masterful maker of magic, a capable crafter of shining showmanship. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Daddy? Huh? Oh, no way. Okay, time to get the tea about Trucy's father. I say tea, I mean juicy law. It's more juice than tea. Once upon a time, Troop Grammary included 2 grand magicians. Myself, Valant Grammary, and my partner, Zach Grammary. And this Zach he was my real daddy, Trucy's father, a magician. I guess it makes sense. I had no idea. There wasn't much point in talking about it. Not now that he's gone. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I'm not lonely. I've got my daddy after all. And you make me laugh, Apollo. Glad that I'm good for comic relief at least. Not that I see Daddy around much these days. I've been remiss in remembering my reasons for my visit. Reasons? 2, in fact. The first being, of course, to see you, Miss Trucy. You don't know how happy I am to see you again, Uncle Valant. I'm sure you are. Not one for modesty, are you? When I encountered you at the Colosseum the first time in 7 years, I could fain not contain my emotions. I wept oceans. And to learn you now defend that poor pianist, that blinded boy, 'twas a hot topic of talk amongst the staff, you know. And defend him you did. Well, it wasn't all my doing. I'm his defense attorney, actually. My other reason for coming here today was this. That's a videotape? Quite so, a recording of the concert, no less. I brought it for you, Trucy, on behalf of True Grammary. Will you watch it? Oh, it's of the performance. Interesting. Whoa, she disappeared. Wow, it's almost as good as it was live. Ooh. Yeah. So, what's the word? Mysterious? There are more mysterious things in her song going on. Way more mysterious. Ah ha 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 ha! This Valant Grammary has good reasons to be here today, but I wonder what his reasons were to be at that concert. Okay, videotape received from Valant. Okay, I don't think we have anything else to talk to Valant about. Yeah, there's nothing in here that, like... Can we get any more information if we present the videotape? I was wondering, that stunt in the middle of the song there. I didn't see a stunt. What about Lamiroir vanishing and reappearing? Oh, that? I guess I'm so used to seeing that happen I didn't even notice. So young to be so jaded. A simple sleight of hand, a petite prestidigitation. A modicum of magic from me to you. So that's why you were at the concert. Yes, I was there to watch my trick take to the air. So you're the one who knows how it was all done. Of course, I am like a deity, with the stage as my domain. I suffer no mystery upon those floodlit boards, not grasped tightly twixt my fingers. It is a potent primeval power I possess. Well, do you think you could tell me how it was done? Hey now, Trucy. That's like totally against the rules, Apollo. Not during a murder investigation, it's not. May known for my illusions or mine alone, monsieur. Also what? Recall that the terrible occurrence happened later. Well, after my illusion entranced the audience. Oh, don't even ask, I won't answer. Too bad for you, Apollo. Grr, whose side are you on? I, Valant Grammary, now make my leave, Miss Trucy. There's no need to rush, Uncle Valant. You should stay a while. I'm afraid I cannot. I may not. I shall not. I have been asked to assist with an analysis, and so I shall slink back to the scene. So you'll be at the concert venue today? Correct. If you would call on me, come to the Coliseum. See you later, Crocodile. I thought it was see you later, alligator. At least that's the one I've always used. See you later, alligator. In a while, Crocodile. Well, there you go, Apollo. Let's get cracking. Right, Valant Grammary. I've got a few more things to ask him. Foremost among them, that bit of magic that made Lamiroir disappear. And how he knows Trucy and her real father. So let's move. Can we do anything at the detention center? Maki may not be guilty, but he's still a suspect. But they don't have any decisive evidence. Yeah, but only someone as small as him could have gotten out of that room. Right, the air vent. And he lied. Lied? Maki Tobeye can see. Ah, Maki! Speak of the devil. He looks like he's doing okay. I forget, why did we come here? It's not like we can talk to him or anything. Words are overrated. Feelings are what matter, Apollo. It's kinda hard to build a court case on feelings. But since we're here anyway, might as well get what I want to say off my chest. If you need someone to complain to, I'll listen. I think she's actually worried for me. Okay, let's ask about the trial today. So, what did you think of the trial today? Phew, I'm glad he doesn't understand English after all. If he did, he would have been scared out of his mind by that trial. Hey, all's well that ends well. You have to be more goal-oriented. If he's innocent, we win. No, if he's found not guilty, we win. Maki might not understand English, but I bet he gets that better than you do. Ooh, looks like Apollo's bracelet was trying to tell him something. Okay, Lamiroir's testimony. I'm glad Lamiroir testified. What a great person. She even got Maki off the hook by naming another suspect. Darian of the Governors, the detective. I wonder if Maki knows what happened. I mean, if he could follow how the trial went at all. If no one told him there's a new suspect, how could he know? Hey, what is it, Apollo? No, it's nothing. I must be imagining it. Imagining what, Apollo? It's just I couldn't help but feel that, I don't know, Maki, he doesn't understand what we're saying, right? How could he? He's a young Borginian. He doesn't speak English. Yeah, but my bracelet is reacting to him. Huh? Maybe it's malfunctioning? Or it's scared because you keep making those I'm so mad faces? Was I that bad? Maki lied about not being able to see, but what if that's not all he lied about? If you're curious about it, there's only one thing to do. You should ask him. Okay. So we need to find indisputable evidence. So, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Colosseum for now because I think Maki is a to be continued situation. Woo, what a great day. It's perfect weather for sleuthing. The weather matters for an investigation. Don't some days just feel like magic days or defense days? I'm sure. Let's get started, shall we? Right on. Show us your stuff, Apollo. What stuff? Your voice training. This is the perfect place for it. I did enough at home, thanks. Oh, there's no need to be shy. Keep that up and you'll never make it on the big stage. I'm happy in the courtroom, thank you. I am a lawyer. Then you're in luck, because it's lawyer weather today. Don't you just want to face the blue sky and shout, "Objection!" Look, the weather has nothing to do with lawyers. Let's get going already. Okay, into the backstage hallway. Ah, Mr. Attorney. Lamiroir. I'm so sorry about today. There is nothing you need to apologize for. You were merely defending Maki. Are you okay? Alone, I mean? Humans are blessed with 5 senses. Even robbed of one, we get by. Though it does make being a witness rather difficult. Speaking of seeing, you knew who we were before we spotted you just now. And we weren't even talking. I heard your footsteps several times today before. Oh. You must have great ears. Ears that heard the crime taking place, or so she claimed yesterday, but how? So, let's talk to Lamiroir about the voice. That was quite a statement you made today in court, about hearing Darian Crescent's voice at the scene of the crime. I did not know his name, but I never forget a voice. Wait, Lamiroir, is something the matter? That voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it. No way. As I said in court, I was on my way backstage from the stage. That is when I heard his voice. I'm guessing Darian and Mr. Latouche were talking about something. The next moment I heard those gunshots. Why didn't you call security? To be honest though, the noise was quite frightening. I never imagined the gunshots might be real, and I was in quite a hurry myself. I left the scene at once. So, it really was Darian's voice that she heard? Yeah. At least she certainly thinks it was. Let's ask about Maki. I met Maki before my debut as Lamiroir. I was singing in a restaurant in Virginia, and he was playing the piano. Yes, he was very kind to me when he learned I could not see. Is that when you started playing opposites, with Maki pretending he couldn't see? Ah, no, it wasn't then. That began after our major debut, after I became known as the landscape painter in sound. It must have been tough for Maki, pretending he couldn't see and all the while acting as your eyes. We held hands always. He would write with his finger on my palm to signal to me things I should know. He is a smart, gentle boy. I think I see what she's getting at. Maki would never harm a soul. And now let's ask about Mr. Latouche. About Mr. Latouche. Ah yes, he was an Interpol agent, I hear. So you had no idea? Of course not. No one did. I guess that's what it means to be undercover, but someone was after him. They had to know who he really was. Why did he pose as my manager? I do not understand. You have no idea? I can only assume that he was investigating me, but why? What makes you think that? Perhaps it is not so, but I cannot deny the possibility, because of my condition. As my present is veiled in darkness, so too is my past clouded from memory. Clouded, right. Okay, and now let's talk about darkness. The darkness that I fear is not the darkness that I see whenever I open my eyes. The real darkness lies in my heart. In your heart? I have no memory of the time before I became Lamiroir. I awoke from darkness into darkness, you might say. I was singing in a restaurant those days. What was it that she said about not being able to remember the light? I do not know my past. Perhaps I committed some terrible crime in my past. Everything before becoming Lamiroir is lost to me. But I don't think you... I can think of no other explanation. Why else would an agent of Interpol approach me? Do you think your past might be related to the case? No way! That seems really unlikely to me. I mean, you're such a sweet person, Lamiroir. I thank you. Maki too tells me this often when I fear who I might have been. Okay. So, let's move into the dressing rooms. So there's nothing in the governor's dressing room. Okay, let's move into Lamiroir's dressing room. Nope, nothing here either. So let's try the stage. There we go. That song, isn't that the one Lamiroir was singing? Yeah, you're right, the guitar Serenade. Wow, I'd love to do a show on a stage like this. I come to see that. The house is full and as one, the audience sighs with wonderment. There I am singing my ballad, rose petals swirling through the air. Not bad. Wait, aren't you a magician? Oh, that's right, I was a magician, wasn't I? Some dedication. Aha, if it isn't Miss Trucy, and indeed it is. Uncle Valant! What exactly are you doing here? I take real responsibility in tasks undertaken. I am inspecting my equipment of illusion to make sure naught is amiss. Lamiroir's teleportation illusion, ooh. Should anything go wrong, it would reflect poorly upon me and my troupe. As I went about my exacting examination, I happened to notice that piano. And I remembered that fair lady's melancholy melody. Hey Apollo, maybe Uncle Valant can shed some light on this whole thing for us. So let's ask about Lamiroir's illusion. I was wondering about the show the night of the murder. Lamiroir's vanishing act was your illusion, right? Indeed, the purple prosecutor petitioned my performance. At the climax of the song, he said make her disappear, like a dream. Like a dream? Yet, what can I work with on a stage meant for musical endeavors? There are none of the conveniences of a stage built for sorcerous acts. It was a challenging task, and so I accepted. She disappeared from the top of the tower, but in order to move, you would have had to use some sort of secret tunnel. People come to me because I am a professional among professionals. My illusions are custom made for a time and place. Now, because of the murder, all the eyes of the nation are on the concert. Not a bad thing as far as the fortunes of Troupe Grammarie are concerned. So, you were here checking up on your trick to make sure it went well? And went well it did. Now, speaking of pianos, that piano over there troubles me. It troubles you? Why? Why? Why do you ask why? I think it's probably quicker if I just go check it out myself, thanks. But first, let's ask Valant about Troupe Grammarie. I know what you are thinking in that head of yours. Grammarie, yes, you say. I recall seeing him on TV. Something of that sort? Actually, yes, you're right. Wow, he just read your mind, Apollo. Or everyone tells him that and he made a good guess. It was 20 years ago. A young magician, a genius of his time, came down among us. His name was Magnifique Grammarie. It was him who began the great Troupe Grammarie. At his prime, not a day passed that he did not play upon the screens of every TV there was. I do have a vague memory of someone like that on TV. Yet several years ago, that time came to an end. My troupe pulled a vanishing act, yes. Cries for magic no longer heard, the TV screen a barren waste stripped of illusion. But that's not true, I still went to all your shows. Like that one in the parking lot down at the supermarket. When you start playing in supermarket parking lots, you know you're in trouble. We hone our skill at these small venues, always awaiting our time. Yes, one day we will rise up from obscurity onto fame's shining stage once more. I do this not only for the magic that is Grammarie, but for my partner. Your partner? You mean, yes, Zach Grammarie, Trucy's father. Before he disappeared 7 years ago, there was no name higher than Grammarie in show business circles, none. I will see us return to glory. I, Valant Grammarie. Now let's ask about the relationship between Valant and Zach. Our founder, Magnifique Grammarie, was truly a genius, a worker of miracles. I'll never forget the one I saw when I was little, how he made that whole jumbo jet go. What happened to the jet again? Apparently someone doesn't remember it as well as they thought. Of all the would-be magicians who came to his door, only Zach and I had the talent. In no time at all, Valant and Zach were the shining stars in the Grammarie crown. Cool, huh? And Zach Grammarie was my daddy. Now that Magnifique and Zach are gone, I have but one wish. Let it be I, Valant Grammarie, who brings the Grammarie miracle back to the big stage. I'm rooting for you. Miss Trucy, you cannot grow up quick enough. I need your skill by my side. One skill coming up. How do we manage to get off the topic of the case so quickly all the time? So let's examine the piano, seeing as Valant pointed it out. That's one big piano. I've never actually played one. Heh, you should get Mr. Wright to teach you sometime. No good, he can't play either. Kind of feel bad for the guy now. Maybe now's my big chance. Stand back, this could be the debut of a prodigy. Ew! Did you make that noise just now? Let me try it again. You know, I think something's stuck in the piano. Time to take a look under the hood. Huh. Look, this was stuck between the strings. It looks like some kind of switch. Someone must have thrown this into the piano. Okay, switch has been placed in pocket. So let's present the switch to Blanc. Okay, maybe not. So let's move to the backstage hallway. Let's move to Governors. No. Let's move to Lamiroir. No. Okay, it doesn't seem, unless I've missed something, it doesn't seem like there's anything else here. So I'll just move back to the outside. And then let's check back in the detention center. Because that switch might have been the evidence we needed to confront Mackie. So let's talk to him about his eyesight. So Mackie, you can see, right? Mackie can see and Lamiroir can't. The whole world's gone topsy-turvy. Sorry, Apollo. I don't think we're going to get any information out of Mackie, which makes sense. Yeah, I guess it does. So let's try presenting the switch. I think you said... okay. So, who do we present that switch to? Or maybe we present something else. So... Okay, so clearly I have missed something somewhere. Yeah. I mean, I could present stuff to Lamiroir, but I don't think that's gonna work because she's Serenade, nope. Let's move. Maybe there's something else on the stage. Now that's a big instrument case. That's a case for a contrabass, I think. You could fit 20 violins in there, I bet. It may look like a violin, but it's a completely different instrument. You could fit 5 truties in there, I bet. Hey, are you comparing me to an instrument? I wonder who left it sitting open like that. Okay. I could also check the dressing rooms again, just in case something has changed and I didn't realise it. Yeah, this headset seems to... Okay, so... So let's start with the governor's dressing room. So, cause now that I think about it, we might find some incriminating evidence on Darian in here. So let's go. I don't know why, but like, how did it go? Just another face in the crowd. Like, that line just made me think of Elevated by Will Ospreay. I think it's because, I mean, there's a really similar lyric in that song that's like, and remember the sound of your name in the crowd or something like that. And I think it made me think of that song because Just Another Face in the Crowd kind of has a similar vibe to it. Anyway, so or maybe Darian dropped a clue in the other dressing room. There's got to be some evidence somewhere, because that's what we're lacking right now to really hammer home that it was Darian that did it. Okay, so... Oh, the crime scene's been properly marked out, so... Let's see. So, okay. Itchy. Don't mind me, I was just flicking a hair off my hand. Because, yeah, sometimes I just find hairs on my hand for no reason. Okay, let's examine the gun again. Okay, so, oh wait, what's in the guitar case? Okay, Lamiroir's brooch. Let's examine the bullet holes again. Okay, Lamiroir's brooch. Okay, so, examine the vent. Yeah, that's another thing we should examine, the window. Maybe she had it some other way. Okay, let's examine the speaker. So, is there anything else? Okay, let's move. So, yeah, maybe there's something else I can show Valant. I was wondering about the stunt in this video right in the middle of the song. I didn't see a stunt. Oh, that? I guess I'm so used to seeing that. Yeah, this is the same text I already saw earlier. Although maybe he might finally tell us about it. Come on, tell us. Okay, so, right, I'm gonna have to continue this investigation the next time I play Serenade, because I am gonna have to wrap up now, unfortunately. So, I am gonna save. So, yeah, hopefully I can figure out the next step as to how to progress the investigation next time. So that definitely did save, right? Yep. Okay. So just gonna close the game. I don't need to save again because I definitely did save. Okay, so let's go to end of stream. There we go. But yeah, thank you for coming, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the content. I definitely did enjoy it. I'm glad we got through the first trial part and we're now back on the investigation stuff, because doing the trials on stream, it does always make me nervous, because I do want to think through the answer properly and make sure that I don't seem like an idiot. But yeah, I had fun and I hope you guys did too. I will be back on stream tomorrow. Yeah, it's Tuesday tomorrow. Yep. So, even though, so I have pre-ordered Metal Gear Solid Delta Remake, and I've got the deluxe edition, so that means I'm gonna get to play it at some point tomorrow. But I don't know if I want to stream that quite yet, because Metal Gear is a very new experience for me. I much rather prefer to showcase a game that I'm somewhat already familiar with. But with Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Remake is going to be my first Metal Gear game. So not sure whether I'm going to stream that tomorrow. So as of now, tomorrow I will be continuing with my 5-game cycle. So I'm going to be playing some Yakuza 3 Remastered, which I'm very much looking forward to continuing. So yeah, that stream should start at 4 p.m. British summer time. So I hope to see you there for that if you can make it. And that's all I have to say really. So I'm gonna raid someone and then I'm gonna get going because I think my fiance Fred and his brother will be back soon. So because I think Fred said his brother was coming over for a little bit. So that's why I'm having to wrap up now because I'm gonna have to make sure the house is all tidy and cleaned up and stuff. So let's see, who can we raid? Doopy doopy doo. Doopy doopy doo, doopy doopy doo, doopy doopy doo, doopy doopy doo, doopy doopy doo. Doopy doopy doo. Let's raid Shock. He is playing Sir Shock and Awe. He is playing Guilty Gear Strive, which is the newest game that is based off of the Guilty Gear anime. But yeah, Shock is a very, very good streamer. All around cool dude. He is a PNG tuber, so not quite a VTuber, but he has a really cool avatar and everything, which is animated and all really cool. So yeah, we're gonna raid Shock and show him some love. I probably won't hang around too much in the stream because again I do have to rush off and make sure the house is all ready for when my fiance and his brother come back. But yeah, so let's go raid Shock, and then until tomorrow I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. And yeah, if you're watching WWE Raw tonight, enjoy it. I don't know whether I am gonna stay up and watch it. I might, but I'll have to see if I can even keep my eyes open for it, because I do have a tendency of falling asleep. Like if I'm in bed trying to watch something, I'll just fall asleep naturally. So yeah, but yeah, let's raid Shock, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.